As we know, Stone Age has been one of the hardest times in history that we ever know. But as we get better with these Stone Age time periods, we get a better understanding of the Stone Age. Bum bum ba bum 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 star star da 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 Stone Age. Hi guys, and welcome to a new episode on this channel. And today we will talk about Hereditary Horrible History Savage Stone Age. This video was inspired by that book, so I'm just gonna give credit to that. Also, what I like about the Stone Age is because there's a lot of things to learn about when we're talking about the Stone Age. There's a lot to learn and a lot to unlearn. But even with these instant stuff happening, there's still a lot we need to talk about, like ancient caveman with special stone tools to actually kill stuff. To be honest, they didn't have a lot to kill, but they did have a lot to kill. Food. And that was pretty much how it was like. There is still a lot of debatable questions that I have to say about this episode, but even if we do have some debatable questions, I'm just gonna say there is a lot of things to talk. But even with everything that we did, there's still a lot to unlearn. As you know, there are loads of things to learn from the whole wide world. But there's always something to learn more. Today, let's just stop wasting time and start talking about the Stone Age. Now, obviously, the Stone Age is called the Stone Age because, well, they used stone. There's a lot of reasons why we use stone for this thing. Sometimes we just use it to do a lot of the cool stuff to do. Sometimes we do it because there's just nothing else to do here. But as you know, there's still a lot that we need to learn when we talk about this Stone Age stuff. Alright, so what did they create with the stone? Well, usually what we found are stone axes. Like this is stone axe. I'll explain later how they survived and how they made it. And also another one are stone spears. Well, it did not look a lot like this, but this is a lot similar. There's a lot of debate, but I think they did make stone axes, stone shovels too. Oh, and also this is just icon pictures of yeah. Well, but pretty much really specific here. Anyways, that's about it about Stone Age. Now on to how we made it. First, let's talk about Stone Axe. Now, Stone Axe was made like this. Firstly, you need a wooden thing, okay? A wooden thing. Like a wooden stick, for example, for now. Let's just use a wooden stick. I'm gonna get the shape of fire. Shape of fire and make this a little like this. It's a rectangle. And watch what it does. Whoa. Okay, so first you need something like this. To be honest here, we don't need a shape of fire. Here it is. Firstly, we get a stick. And once we get a stick, we just quickly make a hole on the top of the stick. Wait a second, let's zoom in. Yeah. Alright, this is as far as we can zoom in. And then we make a little hole in it. Well, to be honest, not very little, but still pretty much good. Good hole. And that it goes through the other side. Whoa. And then we zoom back out. And we get a piece of the stone that we want to use to make the blunt part of the axe for. And then what happens next is that we cross this axe. We have this axe piece here. Wait a second, maybe I should make it a little bolder. We have this axe piece. And once this axe piece is here, we have pretty much everything we need now. Now all we need is just some rope. Wait a second. And we just fit the stone piece through the hole. This side to this side. And that's about it. And pretty much it, because this is all the things that I could even show you about it. Now on to spears. Now the spear is pretty much more complicated. So like so, you get a wooden stick, and then, well, get like one of those oval shaped things with the tip very sharp tip. Once you get that sharp tip, get a piece of rope. We'll use some sort of seaweed for this one. Get pretty much a thin but strong rope, and just make sure that it's secure enough so that it's pretty much the stone thing stays onto the stick. And now you got yourself pretty much a stone spear. That's about it. And well, this is pretty much unrealistic. There's actually as far as I know, there's no evidence for actually a stone pickaxe, but since that seems pretty much a cool idea, I'm just gonna tell you how I think it should be made. Alright, so get a piece of steak, or if you could get a stone version of this, then that would be better. Anyways, get a wooden stick, and then what you do is you have sort of a stone thing, like that thing that makes the pickaxe edges sharp. And on top there's a hole so that the stick can go through it. And once it does go through, there's a lot to explain here. Now you got yourself a stone pickaxe, so howdy doody, that's how you do it. Now, it seems pretty much unobvious that we would actually make some sort of, stone shovel, the same concept, but just take away that little handle thing, because back then they didn't even know how to make handles and this complex stuff, so don't even think of trying to make that part. But this, you can actually carve it. There's a lot of things that we still need to know when we're talking about this, and this is why the Stone Age is probably one of the most primitive ages in the world. And the Stone Age did lasted for a lot of years. Tens and tens of years. Because that it made the basis of survival for a lot of people. How do we know? Cave paintings. And there's still a lot to learn about this place, because when we talk about this, it's a chance of survival. Because when you're facing an enemy, and the only thing you have is a shield, a stone shield, which is pretty much weak, and a stone sword. Here's your enemy who has a stone sword. Don't only think about what you got and what you can use that for. Think about the whole environment around you, everything that's around you. Some trees, to a wildfire, to a little fire that has accidentally been started by the sun nearby, and a little stick. Not brown yet. And a little stick. Just a little luck, you can just grab the stick instead, catch it on fire, and just throw it at the enemy. Don't only think of blocking your axe and his axe and sword with your shield and then attacking it because your shield is really weak. Think about the natural environment. That's actually one of the survival tips I'm gonna tell you to. Even if you make a video about baking or survival or something and post it on YouTube or something, that's a handy dandy tip if you're facing an enemy. So that's my advice. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did enjoy this episode, please like, share, and most importantly, subscribe.